This is the CBC Morning Report for Wednesday, May 17th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, progress is being made in a number of Barbados roads being fixed, which are being done under a $43 million project, which is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank. Some of the roads included in the project are the ABC Highway eastbound lanes between Norman Niles Roundabout to Clyde Walcott Roundabout, Carmichael Road, St. George, Highway 3 Hothersall from the Clyde Walcott Roundabout to Lears Roundabout, Long Bay or Belair Road from Sam Lord's Castle to Crane Roundabout, Highway 6 Searles from Henry Ford Roundabout to Searles Roundabout and onto 6 roads, Bell Road, Lears Road, and the Ermeybourne Highway. To bring us up to speed now on these road works and future plans of the Ministry of Transport and Works in road rehabilitation is Dave Scantlebury, who's the Deputy Chief Technical Officer for Projects and also the Project Manager, Ministry of Transport Works and Water Resources. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbados.
Thanks for joining us. Have any of the 9 roads been completed? And if not, what is the extent of the work that is left to be completed?
Basically, out of the 9 roads, 2 are totally completed. I would say that 5 are approximately 99% completed, and 2 are ongoing, and we expect to be finished, one at the end of this month and the next at the end of next month.
So what have been the... Sorry, continue.
Right. Those roads that are totally completed are the ABC Highway, between Norman Niles and Clyde Walcott, those northbound or what we call eastbound lanes, as well as the area here there in Hothersall, between Hothersall and Lears Roundabout. But the ones that are to be completed and are ongoing would be Belair Road, that started at Crane and finishes at Sam Lord's Castle, and the last is the Ermeybourne or the East Coast Road.
Now, based on how the projects have been progressing, are you on schedule?
I would say no. I would definitely say no. When last year we started work, we had 9 roads, 5 contracts. We expected to be finished in 6 months. At this point in time, we are looking more along the lines of around 9 months to complete each project. And there are various reasons. Firstly, the contractors started late. Then you had frequent rainfall. We had unexpected subsurface conditions. For example, on one road, we were finding multiple types of soil, clay, sand, etc. That's what happened on the Ermeybourne Highway. Then you had unexpected utility work. The contractor was also just driving across using their equipment, and they broke some mains on nearly every road. And we had delays because of that. And in 1 or 2 of the lots, we recognized that the contractors put insufficient resources to actually finish in time. So those really were the reasons. But we are coming to an end.
Well, that's certainly good news. So what has been the response to the rehabilitation on the roads by the public, especially people who I would imagine reside in the immediate areas?
The major road I would say that we've heard a lot about, well, there are 2, would be Carmichael Road. There's an important link between the north and the south. People are very happy now. The public for months was telling us, open the road, but we really couldn't because we had to put crash barriers up and ensure that the road was safe for the traveling public. We had actually opened it about 2 months ago, but what happened is that the workmen on the road from C.O. Williams, they were definitely in danger. And we said, look, let's close it back. Let's totally finish it. And now it's open. It's open a little more than a week now. The next, generally, the public is very happy with what we're doing, except we're in Lot 9, that's the East Coast Road. There's been a lot of dust, and that's because we have had to employ a cement stabilized base in certain areas, so you would have cement dust in the air, which the contractor is using wetting to try to deal with, as well as employing some traffic measures over there. We've given them permission to use some road humps to slow down the traffic. But in general, once the road works is done, the public is very happy.
Are there any more IDB or otherwise funded roadworks projects that are planned for the near future then?
For the near future, not for the IDB. What we're looking at now is the CAF project. That would be the Latin American Bank. We have a loan with them, Ministry of Finance, and there are a few roads that we've begun. We're actually going to tender for the design and supervision of the works for Highway 7. I know the public is very interested in having Highway 7 done. Also, the compliant pilot roads have started. We started Shuri Village last year, as well as Vaughn's Road number 2. Both of those are very large projects, compliant is in excess of 100 million and CAF is 100 million Barbados. So given the fact that we have limited capacity in terms of contractors in Barbados, I think that is about what we can do right now.
Now, I know you said initially it was a 6-month timeline within which you wanted to finish the project. You're now some 9 months on. Just remind us, what's the expected date of completion?
The expected date of completion we have 5 roads that are almost complete. As far as the public is concerned, those are complete. We have a few snags to deal with on those roads. But the last 2, those would be the Ermeyborn Highway, where I mentioned quite a bit of dust. That is going to take another 6 weeks for us to do the paving. Also, the Bel-Air Road up to Sam Lawrence Castle, is going to finish in another 2 weeks or so at the end of this month.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us this morning and making the time to update us on what's happening with those various projects.
Thank you as well, Tisha.
Mr. Dave Scanterbury sharing with us this morning. Well, coming up on the CBC Morning Report, a behind-the-scenes look with one of Haiti's notorious gang leaders. That's next. The Big Bajan Bake Off is back, and the top 5 have been selected. Tune in Fridays at 8:03 p.m. to find out who will be crowned the best Bajan baker.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Well, a powerful gang leader in Haiti is accusing politicians of fueling the ongoing violence in that country through their support of armed groups.
It's known as the G9 and Family and Allies, just one of the many gangs vying for control of Port-au-Prince.
But the places where G9 family...
It is run by former police officer Jimmy Cherissier, also known as Barbecue. He took us to the front line of his urban battleground. He says a rival gang is on the other side.
It's unfortunate we have to call some Haitians enemies, but the Haitian oligarchs and politicians give them guns and ammunition to destroy our communities.
His men are extremely cautious, wary of an attack from the other side.
Jimmy Cherissier, alias Barbecue, has created what is known as the G9. It's a federation of gangs, and it's one of the most powerful here in the capital. They're fighting for control of the territory. On the other side of this wall is the neighborhood of Bel Air that they've been trying to control.
But Cherissier says the G9 is not a gang. He says he's fighting to help provide security and basic services to the people left behind by the government.
There's a difference between a gang and an armed group. We have an ideology. We have a vision to see Haiti with all the services, with drinkable water, schools, jobs, and with security.
His opponents accuse his groups of killing civilians and setting houses on fire. Hundreds have fled, fearing for their lives. The UN, US and Canada imposed sanctions on him last year. Prime Minister Ariel Henry has asked for international assistance to fight the gangs. Cherissier says most are funded by those running the country.
The PM's not asking for foreign troops to come to the country. They want foreign forces to protect them from the crimes they have committed. Several times the UN's intervened in Haiti, and you see that the result is always zero.
Cherissier wanted to show us the difference between the areas controlled by him and other parts of Port-au-Prince. He says there are no shortages of food here, and the streets are clean because he pays for it. Jimmy Cherissier is the state in this part of Port-au-Prince. In the past few weeks, people have turned against the gangs in the country, killing suspected gang members on the streets. The movement is known as Bois Calais. Cherissier says he supports them, saying the time has come for people to fight back.
Now further afield, in what is being called the longest and loudest shelling in Kyiv since the war began, Ukraine is reporting shooting down several Russian supersonic missiles.
The sound of explosions over Kyiv, the night sky lit up by flashes. City officials say Ukrainian air defense systems intercepted dozens of Russian drones and missiles in the early hours of Tuesday. Mobile phone footage filmed by a resident shows the intensity of the attack.
We heard it all, even our windows shook, but thank God there were no missiles in our area.
My friends, my classmates and I, we heard it all. They were all worried, and one of my classmates' houses got hit. I think it's terrible.
The attacks came just hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky returned by train from a trip to Europe aimed at securing new weapons and support for an anticipated counter-offensive.
We are returning home with the new military help, newer and more powerful weapons for the front, more protection for our people, greater political support.
No one knows when the counter-offensive will begin, but Ukrainian troops are preparing. In the south of the country, mortar units say they're ready, but need more weapons.
We
need armored personnel carriers the most, especially with the counter-offensive, because currently we use basic Jeep models which are not armored. An armored car would provide safety for our servicemen. That's what really matters.
Kyiv and its supporters hope that this counter-offensive will be successful. Since Russia's invasion, Ukrainian forces have exceeded expectations. Pressure is high, but the reality is that few believe that this push will be the last or will win the war.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. On this World Hypertension Day, we're telling you all about the National Non-Communicable Disease Commission, which was officially launched yesterday, and all that they have planned for today, including wear your sneakers. So if you're getting ready to leave home, remember to wear your sneakers today. We're encouraging you to get active. There's new music as we look toward the festivals. Kupadan is going to be in to share some new vibes with us. Plus, the Barbados Museum and Historical Society, they will be back to share more about the concert they have coming up. Phil Alves, one of the most famous Barbados rowers who has ever been on the high seas, is heading back out there for a big classic that's coming up. We're going to hear a lot more about that, plus the launch of the Center for Solutions Ministries. We'll tell you more about that. And we are talking to Romero Lashley, who's a retired educator, as we continue our series on education and how right the 11 plus is, as it is, for our children. That's all coming up on this morning's presentation of Morning Barbados. But we have more news, sports, and weather coming up after this break.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Barbados' major piece of legislation governing the safety, health, and welfare of people in the workplace has been bolstered. There are now 2 new regulations and an order related to the Safety and Health at Work Act or the Shaw Act. There are the Safety and Health at Work Regulations 2023, Safety and Health at Work Regulations 2023, and the Safety and Health at Work Order. Minister of Labour, Social Security and Third Sector, Colin Jordan, outlined some of the changes on CBC's Newsnight.
We have now made those regulations the right to refuse dangerous tasks. The forms regulation, that is one that was in the Old Factories Act that has been repealed, but did not find its way into the original Safety and Health at Work Act. There is now the forms regulation. So all the forms that businesses are to use, organizations generally are to use in keeping records, they have now been established and gazetted. The right to refuse dangerous tasks, that has been done. And there is also the fees order, and well, only one fee. There's a fee of $50 for persons who want to access the official report of the Labor Department. If they have to do an official investigation, a full investigation with full write-up and everything, there's a $50 fee that has been established, but that is the only fee in the fees order.
Staggering statistics of child abuse in Barbados have been revealed by Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Kirk Humphrey. He was at the time leading off debate on the Child Protection Bill in Parliament.
Between 2020 and 2021, 544 reported cases of abuse. Between 2021 and 2022, 667 cases reported of abuse. And until January this year, 556 cases, sir. A trajectory that says to me, sir, that I suspect when the numbers come, we'll be at our highest or close to our highest. It is evident, sir, that in Barbados, sir, there's a reported case, sir, of child abuse, sir, almost twice in a day. That is too much. And I also have the view, sir, that we've recently started doing the Child Abuse Awareness Month, sir, and during that month, more people call in than normal, sir, because people, when they get more education, sir, are more likely to call.
Well, Minister Humphrey shared the numbers as he highlighted the new fines, the mandatory reporting of child abuse, and the planned creation of a child protection authority under the proposed legislation. He told Parliament there were deficits in the current child protection legislation that needed to be addressed.
First of all, just looking at it, you want to deal with children, you got to go here, there, and yonder. You can't go one place and get this situation addressed properly, either in its entirety or close to its entirety. It's all over the place. Different pieces of legislation dealing with different things. I mean, we're never going to get it perfect, but we can get a lot better than we are, sir. What we have now is broken. And, sir, we need to be able to find this legislation, sir, hopefully in one place, sir. But these combined pieces of legislation, sir, would be what the Child Care Board often would use to be able to remove a child from a house or a household or a circumstance that is difficult for the child, sir.
Well, debate on the child protection bill was later postponed for further consideration. The amalgamation of technology, books, and consideration for the differently abled groups in Jamaica has led to the creation of an initiative which is set to transform Jamaica's education system in the primary schools. With the details is this CVM television report.
In a bid to make the education curriculum in Jamaica more inclusive, UNICEF Jamaica has partnered with stakeholders to implement the Accessible Digital Textbooks program.
Accessible Digital Textbook program is something we launched last year where we're taking existing ministry-approved content, books that are in the system, and we're converting them to make them inclusive, fully inclusive, which means a child who is differently abled, who might be deaf or blind, can sit in the same classroom as children who are not, and they can engage with the same content at the same time, and their teacher can be teaching in a mixed ability setting.
The goal, she explains, is to integrate 12 picture books that the Ministry of Education uses up to grade 3 of primary education. Jamaica is the pilot country for this initiative, and already 3 books are completed, the benefits of which are already noticeable.
We've had children deaf children, for example, who have told us that it's the first time they've seen their language in a book, because when you read the accessible digital book, you can see people, teachers really, signing. So we're doing this in collaboration with teachers who are teaching the differently abled students, and we're doing it in the spirit of bringing everybody together under a love of reading.
Tortello expresses how essential the program is to empowering members of vulnerable communities.
That it's empowering for the children who are deaf and so speak sign language, use sign language, or children who are blind to know that they can be taught hearing in the same classroom as other children. So, I mean, it's going to take time. It's going to take change of behavior to want to access books on a device. But the publishing industry globally is changing its laws and regulations to require publishers to create content that uses universal design.
The pilot was officially launched at the Kingston and St. Andrew Public Library and is being introduced to several institutes.
What a great initiative. As we head further south, we hear that businesses in Guyana have been advised of the need to form consortiums to satisfy the growing demands of the local and international markets. This from the chair of the Private Sector Commission, Kamal Singh.
The PSC chairman disclosed that there are a lot of business opportunities available in the government sector that contractors need to take advantage of. While the tendering process is easy and transparent, Singh says many local businesses lack the capacity to undertake these projects on their own. He is therefore urging contractors to form consortiums and get on board with the transformative development in the country.
A lot of the work that is taking place right now, some of us don't have enough capacity to do it. And the only way we can do that, we need to create partnership, create consortium. We have the old mentality sometimes that we need to stick to moms and pops operation. Our market is growing drastically. The level of work that is out there right now, is so much different from 5-10 years ago. So forming consortium, it's a benefit and not a negative. So we should not look at one another as competitor.
Singh states that the government is supportive of local businesses tapping into opportunities like these and has already demonstrated its support in this regard.
We have seen the president enter almost every single villages in this country, giving every single person within communities who are saying that they don't have jobs, etc., an opportunity to be their own leaders, to be their own business person.
For over 30 years, the private sector has benefited from contracts from the government sector. Currently, Singh says even more opportunities exist, not only in the oil and gas sector, but in the thriving agriculture sector. President Dr. Irfan Ali has also urged local private sector players to up their game and form consortiums to meet the growing needs of Guyana's oil-driven economy. He explained that for transformation to take place, Guyanese must build a new business model.
Over to Bermuda now. A community action project led by an MP is helping to beautify a neighborhood and make it a better place to live. Volunteers meet once a week to paint walls and buildings, cut grass and pick up litter in the Greenacres Devonshire neighborhood. They hope their efforts will inspire other residents to join in, as we hear in that report.
The Parish Pride Project was started in 2017 by Devonshire East MP Chris Famous. We visited Mr. Famous at his Greenacres neighborhood this week. He said young men and women join in the bi-weekly cleanup projects, often at the request of other neighbors.
How have you managed to inspire them to come out and participate in this project?
It's teaching them about work ethics, teaching them about working as a team, teaching them skill sets as landscaping or painting.
Several years ago, residents asked the Ministry of Public Works to clean up spaces they felt were being neglected. However, when the government told them they were short of staff, Mr. Famous said constituents decided to take matters into their own hands.
As a taxpayer, I would say yes, some of these things should be maintained by the government. But the reality is that a lot of government departments are short of staff. So we have, as taxpayers, we have to say, okay, are we going to be willing to pay more taxes in order to hire more staff? Or are we going to come together as a community and do some of this stuff ourselves?
The group recently cleaned out a tunnel of grass by the barn and removed 100 bags of trash. In 2021, they painted nearby Christchurch. Volunteer Sariwa Lynch says he regularly walks the neighborhood to identify areas in need of a makeover.
Let's take a look at sports now. Surfer Josh Burke has been slapped with a ban from all national duties for the rest of the year. This after he and his father, Alan Burke, who was the coach of the national team, abruptly left the Pan American Surfing Games in Panama for Josh to compete at another event in Australia. Josh, who was part of a 5-member Pan Am national team that included Chelsea Tuak, Chelsea Rowett, Shea Allen and Kai St. George, abandoned the team and the event late last month to compete on the pro circuit at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro. Josh, being an elite athlete with the Barbados Olympic Association, was also sanctioned by that body, and President Sandra Osborne told CBC Sports official correspondence was sent to the surfer with their sanctions, which were not revealed. Josh will, however, still be able to continue competing on the pro circuit. Speaking to CBC Sports on the matter, President of the Barbados Surfing Association, Paul Bourne, says his committee met Monday night to decide on the sanctions.
Deemed that his decision to leave Panama while he was still in competition without advising anyone and going against the advice of myself and others, once he had made the announcement that he was leaving, he tried to get him to stay, and he left and caused a whole bunch of negative repercussions. And in the end, we decided to ban him from all competition in Barbados this year, including he has been withdrawn from the national team that was going to El Salvador at the end of the month for the World Surfing Games. And he also has to participate in a training program that the BOA is going to put in place that teaches ethics, code of conduct, sportsmanlike behavior, deals with anti-doping protocols, all that kind of stuff. That is, all part of being an athlete and being involved in competitive sport. So that was sent to him today, and yes, that's what has come of that whole situation.
Well, the BSA is to meet with Josh's father, Alan Burke, before they decide on his sanctions for leaving the team and not fulfilling his duties as coach. The elder Burke has been invited to give his side on a matter via Zoom meeting as he is still in Australia. It's time now to take a look at the weather. The barometric pressure stands at 1013.4 millibars. It's 26.8 degrees Celsius. The humidity is 76%, and the winds are blowing out of the east at 18 kilometers per hour. Present weather partly cloudy with slight haze. Sea conditions now smooth to moderate in open water with swells peaking at 1.5 meters and increasing. And a look at your tides for today. Well, the general forecast for Barbados will be a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief isolated showers. As we move into the evening period, it's going to be pretty much the same, a mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 p.m. here on CBC TV 8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning indeed. Good morning on this Wednesday, May 17th. Good to have you in company for another presentation of Morning Barbados. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. We have a packed show today. There's so much going on all across Barbados, and there's lots to talk about. Foremost, today is World Hypertension Day, and we saw a launch yesterday of a very important commission. So we're going to tell you all about how that went down. Of course, we were encouraging you to wear your sneakers today. Now, on that note, I'm a little ashamed because I'm not wearing my sneakers today. However, I promise to still get active. Okay? So we're going to tell you all about that, and hopefully I'll be able to nip home and get the sneakers and come back and do something a little bit later. All right, the Barbados Museum and Historical Society, they will be back to tell us all about the Heritage Concert. So we have Lachey Drayton and Elena Pinder, who will come to tell us more about that concert that will be held under the patronage of Sir Trevor Carmichael. It's coming up on Sunday, May 21st. So you definitely want to get yourself together and head on out and be a part of that. They promise that it will be an event that you won't soon forget. Also, Philip Alves, he rode his way really into the history books and the Guinness Book of World Records by becoming one of the first Barbadian ocean rowers to successfully cross the Atlantic back in 2003. Now he's heading back out onto the water. We'll tell you for what reason when we get a chance to speak with him a little later this morning. And there's lots of catching up to do because he has been quite busy as well. There's the launch of the Center for Solutions Ministries, and Apostle Margaret Branch Bennett will be in. She is with the Solutions and Influence Ministries, as is Dr. Anthony Cummins, and they will be telling us all about the ministries and how they're aiming to assist people in finding their inner peace. We know in these times that is very, very important because no matter what is happening, you have to make sure that you have some inner peace and happiness. They're going to help us with that today. We're going to continue that discussion as well with retired educator Romero Lashley. He is director of the Extra Edge. And some weeks ago, we started talking about the relevance of the 11 plus examination. We're going to continue that discussion today and talk a little bit about a few new initiatives, as well as look at some of the terms and things we did back in the day with our children and how they have probably hampered their progress. So you want to hear a little bit more about that. Plus, we have some new music coming your way. It's crop over, so we are definitely bringing the crop over vibe. Cooper Dan is going to be in to share something new with us, so we'll have a great performance from him. And that's all on today's presentation. So like I told you, it is indeed a packed schedule, but yesterday we told you all about today's celebrations, and today is World Hypertension Day. So the National Commission for Non-Communicable Diseases, also known as the NCD Commission, is officially launching today with a media briefing. The Commission is also collaborating with the Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados for their campaign called Put On Your Sneakers and Get Active. We are inviting all Barbadians to wear sneakers today, Wednesday, and go out and get involved in the fun activities that they have planned, both in person and online. Hypertension is often referred to as the silent killer, as you would have heard, due to its lack of discernible symptoms, and it poses significant threats to critical organs in our brain, our hearts, our kidneys, and indeed our entire bodies. Now here is a word of advice from Dr. Kenneth Connell, Deputy Chairperson of that commission.
My name is Dr. Kenneth Connell, and I am Vice President of the Healthy Caribbean Coalition. I am also Deputy Chair of the National NCD Commission of the Barbados Ministry of Health and Wellness. The National NCD Commission this year will commemorate on May 17th World Hypertension Day with our official national launch. We encourage you to get out there, eat healthier, move more, and check your blood pressure.
Now, the NCD Commission is an inclusive, multi-sectoral body that will provide strategic guidance and oversight for the prevention and control of NCDs in Barbados. Leading the NNCD as chairperson is former chair of the Barbados Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. That, of course, is Suleiman Bubulia. Deputy chairperson is Dr. Kenneth Connell, as we told you, vice president of the Healthy Caribbean Coalition. The commission comprises distinguished representatives from various sectors, including health, education, agriculture, finance, civil society, media, academia, and they're all going to ensure a holistic approach to addressing this pressing challenge. Now, the Barbados Association of Retired Persons, BARP, they are also showing their support on this initiative.
Turn. 1, 2 times. 5, to the right. To the left. Forward. 5, 6, 7, back. 5, turn. 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 To the right. Left touch. Right touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turn, 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 turn to the right, right, left, right, top, forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looking good, BARP members, absolutely. Did you see the sign? It said, this is how we get active when we wear our sneakers. So again, if you haven't left home, put on your sneakers today and get in a little extra exercise. And usually when you wear your sneakers, you know, you tend to walk a little more quickly, you go quicker, you know, you do things a little differently. So make sure you put on your sneakers today as you head out. Now, we told you that the Barbados Museum and Historical Society is putting on a wonderful concert series, and we invited Lachey Drayton and Elena Pinder to come on back and share more with us on the Heritage Concert. Now, Ms. Drayton is the Marketing and Events Officer, and Elena Pinder is the Communications Coordinator, both with the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning.
All right, Ms. Pinder, good morning. How are things shaping up as you get ready for this awesome occasion? I know these things take quite some time to really pull together.
Yes, indeed. The preparations are going well. As you would have rightly mentioned, the concert is happening this Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Barbados Museum. And we are very excited. We're seeing persons purchase their tickets, which of course are available at the Barbados Museum and Codrington College, as well as the Barbados Police Service Band. And they're also available for purchase online at ticketpal.com. If you are interested in booking your ticket and buying your tickets, you can also visit any TicketPal location, which includes all Lucky Horseshoe outlets, Digicel Sky Mall, as well as the Smart Store in Lime Grove and Welches. So all around, we are very excited. Preparations are going well, and we can't wait to see persons on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Wow, now the Barbados Police Service Band is known for quite the repertoire, but they have some special stuff planned for this weekend, I am told, Ms. Drayton.
Yes, they do. Given that they're playing they're going to be playing classical music. They're actually going to perform songs such as "The Sound of Music," William Tell's Overture by Rosalini, and lots more. Actually, I don't want to really give it away, but the band has been practicing. Rehearsals have been going well, and we're really excited. We want to invite persons to come out to the Wall Garden at the Barbados Museum on Sunday at 6 p.m. We want to thank our sponsors, the Barbados Light and Power, the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, and the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, because without them, this event would not be possible. And we want to invite persons, when you purchase a ticket, you're not just coming to see a concert, but all proceeds from the event are actually going to the upkeep, maintenance, and restoration for all three partner organizations. So you're helping the organizations by just coming out and enjoying yourself at this wonderful classical concert featuring the police band.
Now, it is being held under the patronage of Sir Trevor Carmichael. Speak to us, Ms. Pinder, about the significance in having Sir Trevor be a part of this presentation.
Well, Sir Trevor Carmichael has been our long-standing president, I believe, for 35 to 36 years. So he has been around for quite a while and has been with the museum, helping us to, grow and develop. As you know, the museum is getting ready to celebrate its 90th anniversary from May 31st. And this concert really and truly is just to help kickstart these activities, which will be happening for an entire year. So if you are interested in finding out more about what we are planning, if you want to get involved, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Barbados Museum, where all of the activities, everything will be shared to that. To also kickstart these activities, we are having a wellness day tomorrow, May 18th, from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. So you can come to the museum, see the galleries for free. And if you're not available to come tomorrow, again, we welcome you to come on Sunday at 6 p.m. where the galleries will also be open. So you have an opportunity to immerse yourself in the history of Barbados.
Wow, I'm interested in hearing more about the collaboration, the partnership really, that you also have with Codrington Trust, who also have a big anniversary celebration.
Yes, so they are celebrating their 275th anniversary, and the police band is also celebrating 134 years. So all three entities, we are all celebrating, and we're taking this opportunity to really partner and, celebrate together.
All right, let's talk logistics a little bit. When people arrive, let's talk about where they need to park, how they enter, the precise times you want them to sit, and things like that, just so people are clear on what they need to do.
Okay, so at the Barbados Museum, we have convenient parking in the front of the building. So parking will not be an issue when you arrive. Our beautiful buildings, which historic buildings, will be washed in beautiful colors with our lights. As you enter, I would say we want to get there at least by 5:30, 5:45, so that you can park, you can come in, you can find a comfortable seat. We will have food and drinks on sale and a few vendors for persons to to purchase items and support locally made products. So you come in, you enter into the wall garden, you have a very comfortable seat where everybody will be able to see the stage, because at the wall garden theater at the Barbados Museum is actually layered. It's actually layered in tiers, so everybody will be able to see and just sit down and enjoy the concert.
It is indeed a very beautiful space. So tell us about the cost of entering and where we can get our tickets.
Okay, so the cost to enter the event is $75. And you can purchase your tickets at any of the partner locations. So you can purchase them at the Barbados Museum. You can also get your tickets at Codrington College or the Barbados Police Band. But no matter where you are on the island, you can also get your tickets at all TicketPal locations. You can go on ticketpal.com if you don't want to leave home for your convenience. But all Lucky Horseshoe outlets, there's Abbeville in Rockley, Emerald City in 6 Roads, Carlton Supermarket in Black Rock, Digicel Skymore, as well as Smart Store, Lime Grove, and Welch's.
Oh, that's wonderful. And again, you have some great partners on board who have a long history right here in Barbados. And, certainly here at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, we're celebrating a big milestone this year as well, 60. So there's definitely a lot to celebrate with all of the partners who are a part of, are contributing to this glorious initiative. Now it's coming up on Sunday, May 21st at the beautiful Walled Garden Theatre at the Barbados Museum. I want to thank both of you ladies for sharing with us this morning about that wonderful concert that's coming up, being put on by the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. It's a heritage concert and it comes off this Sunday, 6 p.m. Tickets are only $75. Food and drinks will be on sale as well, as vendors selling locally made products. I absolutely love that, because if we're talking about heritage, Miss Drayton, we definitely have to get some Barbadian vendors in there.
Yeah, so we're very happy to partner with some of the vendors on the island, giving them the opportunity to play their trade and also to let people see who will be attending the concert so that they can see some of the talent that we have here in Barbados. At the Barbados Museum, this is something that we push. So we have a shop at the museum, and in our shop, we try to carry 100% Barbados locally made items. So there's a wide range and variety for persons to choose from. So if you have to do your shopping and you don't want to go to town, you can just pop by the Barbados Museum, convenient parking, and you can purchase stuff from our museum shop.
Miss Pender, final word for you. Final urge as to why people should come out and be a part of this wonderful celebration.
Yes, so the Heritage Concert is headlining the Barbados Police Band, and as we all know, their music is top of the line. It will be an enjoyable evening. So we encourage you to purchase your tickets online at ticketpal.com or visit the Barbados Museum or Codrington College or even the police band itself. Go to any TicketPal outlets to purchase your tickets. Again, we just want to thank our sponsors, which are the Barbados Light and Power Company Limited, Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, as well as the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Again, we could not have done this without your generous support. So thank you once again. And if you ever want to find out any more information on the Barbados Museum or how we are celebrating our 90th anniversary, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Barbados Museum. And we look forward to seeing you on Sunday for an enjoyable evening.
See you then, Elena Pinder and Lachey Drayton of the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. I wish you all the best for this concert. I think it's going to be wonderful. I think it will be well attended because Barbadians are always looking for a good place to go. But the Barbados Police Service and being able to go and see some of the installations at the museum all in one fell swoop, I think is definitely something to do. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tisha.
We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're talking to Phil Alves. Who knows? Is he rowing across the Atlantic again? We'll answer that question and more when Morning Barbados returns.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
8 minutes to 7 o'clock. Now, back in 2003, Philip Alves joined a gentleman by the name of Randall Valdez to create the Barbadian rowing team, Team Rowing Home. And row home they did. They set on an historic journey. And in the end, it was quite a day for us here in Barbados. I certainly remember when they were getting close to the shore, all the excitement that was going on, not only in the media, but across the general Barbadian landscape as well. So it's indeed an honor to have Philip come share with us this morning about his new exploits on the horizon. So let's go ahead and say good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, all. Good morning, Barbados. Thanks for having me here to give you a little bit of what's on my plate going forward there.
All right, so 2003, that's quite some time ago. That's quite the anniversary. Right. That's 20 years to the date already. When you reflect on that, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I always get shivers when I think about it and what we've been through out there and stuff. But hence, I never really gave up. Since then, I've been doing a lot of training and stuff. I'm embarking on this new venture. I'm part of the British team, so that's where I'm heading off to shortly. I'm still, behind the 8 ball, trying to accumulate sponsorship to finish off for the Northwest Passage, and that's the upcoming one.
All right, so talk to us a little bit more about that. What does it entail?
Okay, currently we have a team of persons from Scotland and the UK, South Africa, and myself, I'm the only person from this part of the hemisphere that's representing the Caribbean, Barbados in general. We're going to be doing the Northwest Passage. It's an area that have never been done before in Alaska. If people understand how the Panama Canal is designed, you come from the Pacific to the Atlantic, well, this area up there is possible, and all of this has become possible because of global warming. So hence, we are trying to be the first to cross this passage, and it was impossible to be done before because it was always frozen. So now that is because of global warming and the ices melt, is a window of opportunity about 2.5 months that maybe we can get through the passage. So Levin Brown, he's the leader of the expedition. We were also doing research as we go through that area and taking samples and stuff for the water and photos and stuff for a university in the US that want to do some research. And we also will be monitored, our bodies will be monitored because of sleep deprivation. We are going to be on 2-hour shifts. So that means that I would row for 2 hours, then the other person will row for 2 hours, and we're going to be backward and forward in that pattern. So then we'll be monitoring our bodies and seeing the kind of stress that we go through and stuff, just for scientific information.
Wow. Rowing for 2 hours. Tell me, you talked about preparation. How do you prepare for something like this?
Well, this is 3 years I've been on the track since I retired from my workplace at Corsi Garage. I've been asked to join the expedition, and that's 3 years ago. And since then, I've been training backward and forward from Scotland, the Isle of Man, and the UK. You're training in cold, extreme climate conditions. What you're saying there is the boat. The boat is 44 feet long by 6 feet wide, and it's going to be 8 of us on that boat doing our thing. We're leaving from we're leaving from Newcastle on Tyne, and then we're going to head up through to Orkney, Iceland, and come around and then enter up off from Pawn Inlet to Baffin Island. So this trip should take us about 2.5 to 3 months. So we'll be out there unassisted and taking all our data and our information and trying to be the first to go through the Northwest Passage.
Now take us
so
on.
currently,
Okay, continue.
yeah, go ahead.
Continue. No, I was saying, looking at the inside of the vessel there, I think we usually just see, what you see superficially. So being on the water for 2 to 3 months, take us inside, literally. What's happening?
Yeah, what you're saying there is that's I would say a life support system. That's called it's a water maker, and that takes water from the sea and turn and purify it. It goes through there with reverse osmosis under pressure, and it turns the salt water into drinking water. So that's one of our main pieces of equipment there. That's what you're seeing in the photo. So that's a very important thing. If not, we wouldn't have any water. We have emergency water in the bottom of the boat, but we don't trouble that unless the water maker doesn't work. And we have to train on this unit also, so we know how to pick it apart and how to repair it and how to make it work in case they have problems. We carry spare parts with us. So all the team members, they've been drilled, and you can actually do it blindfolded.
Wow, that is amazing stuff. You mentioned at the top that you're still open to corporate sponsors to assist with moving forward with this project. So tell us, what are you looking for?
Well, right now, I with the thanks and really appreciate the first sponsor that stepped on board and really assist me was the Barbados Olympic Association. And they gave me this, and this is a 3-year ongoing practice and training because I already been up on road to Orkney Islands and stuff with the team. And they stepped on board. They were the first on board. And also, Courtesy Garage, my old workplace, they stepped on board. Royal Bank. So all this is sponsorship and help. MSG Global, which is an overseas company, and the Barbados Tourism and Marketing Inc. They also stepped on board. Some people were helpful in donating their services, which is like Surfside Gym and Warren's Physio and Nurse Yoga Therapy, Esco Sales, who didn't give monetary, give of something of their product, like Warren's Therapy. I went there on a number of occasions, and I would say they tuned my body, they checked my joints and make sure everything was working. So it was a long 2.5 years, nearly 3 years of preparation. But all of this and trying to acquire sponsorship from a small island after COVID, it's kind of hard. I'm still trying to get there. Virgin Atlantic just sponsored me a flight, an open ticket for a whole year, so I can fly up to London and back to Barbados if I had to come back in a hurry at the end of the expedition. But I still have funding that I'm owed to the expedition, and we're trying now to tie down to buy our food supply, and that's outstanding funds that I'm trying to get before I leave. I think I'm just going to run off maybe next week and head up, because we have to pack the boat. We have to make sure I'm still trying to get my cold weather clothing for the extreme weather, and that have been ordered and put on hold, but I still need to pay for that. So, there's still a lot of things to do, but, sitting in Barbados, I can't really stay here any longer because it's not going to really help me. So I have to go. So anyone that wants to step up to the plate and assist with a little bit of finance to help me really get there. I'm not there yet. I'm close. That would be very much appreciative.
All right, definitely a lot going on. 2.5 years of preparation, 20 years on. We most certainly will be behind you, and we'd like you to come on back and share more information. I most certainly am intrigued, even just thinking about the way how you prepare the boat, what you have to take on the boat, what the necessities are, what the do's and don'ts. So we'll talk about that next time when you come back, and we most certainly hope your appearance on the program this morning moves some members of corporate Barbados to action. Thank you so much, Phil.
Okay, and anyone that wants to reach me could call me directly, 262-7009, and I would be able to talk to them if they want to send them a proposal or something, and then we could arrange if they want to sponsor that they could help. I am waiting on some entities of sport, and that's what I'm hanging on to now to make this trip, because, as I say, it was a long journey, and the amount of funding that I was trying to raise, it wasn't it's not like $1,000 or so. I had to raise £50,000 for myself. All the others have paid in their money, and I'm the only one that haven't paid in full as yet. So that's what I'm up with. I'm halfway there, so I just need that other half. And now is a good time because the pound is low in value. So before, when I first started out, it was nearly $3 to the pound. Now it's like 2 something. So all those folks that want to help and assist, your last chance to make part of history. I'm going out there, I'm risking it all. I'm doing it for my country, I'm doing it for the whole Caribbean region. And so I think, if you guys want to get on board, give me a call, 262-7009. And if you want to commit, and that would be very appreciative. And thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so much for your time as well. And that is Philip Alls, who is a national sports icon. We have an update of the news coming your way.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade, or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
The Big Bajan Bake Off is back, and the top 5 have been selected. Tune in Fridays at 8:03 p.m. to find out who will...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Here's your news update. Barbados' major piece of legislation governing the safety, health, and welfare of people in the workplace has been bolstered. There are now 2 new regulations and an order related to the Safety and Health at Work Act, or SHAW Act. They are the Safety and Health at Work Regulation 2023, Safety and Health at Work Regulations 2023, and the Safety and Health at Work Order. Minister of Labour, Social Security and Third Sector Colin Jordan outlined some of the changes on CBC's Newsnight.
We have now made those regulations the right to refuse dangerous tasks. The forms regulation, that is one that was in the Old Factories Act that has been repealed, but did not find its way into the original Safety and Health at Work Act. There is now the forms regulation. So all the forms that businesses are to use, organizations generally, are to use in keeping records, they have now been established and gazetted. The right to refuse dangerous tasks, that has been done. And there is also the fees order, and well, only one fee. There's a fee of $50 for persons who want to access the official report of the Labor Department. If they have to do an official investigation, a full investigation with full write-up and everything, there's a $50 fee that has been established, but that is the only fee in the fees order.
While staggering statistics of child abuse in Barbados have been revealed by Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs Kirk Humphrey. He was at the time leading off debate on the Child Protection Bill in Parliament.
Between 2020 and 2021, 544 reported cases of abuse. Between 2021 and 2022, 667 cases reported of abuse. And until January this year, 556 cases, sir. A trajectory that says to me, sir, that I suspect when the numbers come, we'll be at our highest or close to our highest. It is evident, sir, that in Barbados, sir, there's a reported case, sir, of child abuse, sir, almost twice in a day. That is too much. And I also have the view, sir, that we've recently started doing the Child Abuse Awareness Month, sir, and during that month, more people call in than normal, sir, because people, when they get more education, sir, are more likely to call.
Minister Humphrey shared the numbers as he highlighted the new fines, the mandatory reporting of child abuse, and the planned creation of a Child Protection Authority under the proposed legislation. He told Parliament there were deficits in the current child protection legislation that needed to be addressed.
First of all, just looking at it, you want to deal with children, you got to go here, there, and yonder. You can't go one place and get this situation addressed properly, either in its entirety or close to its entirety. It's all over the place. Different pieces of legislation dealing with different things. I mean, we're never going to get it perfect, but we can get a lot better than we are, sir. What we have now is broken. And, sir, we need to be able to find this legislation, sir, hopefully in one place, sir. But these combined pieces of legislation, sir, would be what the Child Care Board often would use to be able to remove a child from a house or a household or a circumstance that is difficult for the child, sir.
Debate on the Child Protection Bill was later postponed for further consideration. While in sports, surfer Josh Burke has been slapped with a ban from all national duties for the rest of the year. This after he and his father, Alan Burke, who was the coach of the national team, abruptly left the Pan America Surfing Games in Panama for Josh to compete at another event in Australia. Josh, who was part of a 5-member Pan Am national team that included Chelsea Tuak, Chelsea Rowett, Shea Allen and Kai St. George, abandoned the team and event late last month to compete on the pro circuit at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast Pro. Josh, being an elite athlete with the Barbados Olympic Association, was also sanctioned by that body. And President Sandra Osborne told CBC Sports official correspondence was sent to the surfer with their sanctions, which were not revealed. Josh will, however, still be able to continue competing on the pro circuit. Speaking to CBC Sports on the matter, President of the Barbados Surfing Association, Paul Bourne, says his committee met Monday night to decide on the sanctions.
Deemed that his decision to leave Panama while he was still in competition without advising anyone and going against the advice of of myself and others. Once he had made the announcement that he was leaving, he tried to get in to stay, and he left and caused a whole bunch of negative repercussions. And in the end, we decided to ban him from all competition in Barbados this year, including he has been withdrawn from the national team that was going to El Salvador at the end of the month for the World Surfing Games. And he also has to participate in a training program that the BOA is going to put in place that teaches ethics, code of conduct, sportsmanlike behavior, deals with anti-doping protocols, all that kind of stuff that is, all part of being an athlete and being involved in competitive sport. So that was sent to him today, and yes, that's what has come of that whole situation.
Well, the BSA is to meet with Josh's father, Alan Burke, before they decide on his sanctions for leaving the team and not fulfilling his duties as coach. The elder Burke has been invited to give his side on the matter via a Zoom meeting, as he is still in Australia. And that's today's update of news. More news at 12 noon here on CBC TV 8. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Big Bajan Bake Off is back, and the top 5 have been selected. Tune in Fridays at 8:03 p.m. to find out who will be crowned the best Bajan baker.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed. It is 7:13 in Barbados and across the Eastern Caribbean, 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. Remember, it's World Hypertension Day. We are encouraging you to head out today with your sneakers so that you can get active. All right, time for us now to speak with Apostle Margaret Branch Bennett and Dr. Anthony Cummins. Now, Apostle Branch Bennett is with the Center for Solutions and Influence Ministries, and Dr. Cummins is with Solutions and Influence Ministries. And they're on this morning to tell us about a new move they're making. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Barbados. All right. Great to have you with us. I want to start with you, Apostle Branch Bennett. Tell me a little bit about the Center for Solutions and Influence Ministries and why you saw the need that you did.
Okay, I think that question would be best for Mr. Cummins to answer. Reason for that is I'm actually here to support it, but he is the mastermind behind it, so he would have all of the details to give you on that.
Go as you
Yes,
please.
good. Yes, good morning to you, Tisha. Good morning to you, Barbados. Thank you so much for having us on your broadcast today. Indeed, the Center for Solutions and Influence Ministries is birthed out of the Center for Solutions and Influence for Men and Fathers. Last time, a couple of times I've been on this broadcast, and we were talking a lot about some of the things that we do as for fathers and men, and therefore one of the things that we recognize Barbados is that while we manage humanity is made up of three dimensions, and it is difficult, it's imbalanced to be dealing strictly with just the psychological and the social aspect of humanity, and trying to service that solution for men and fathers, and not recognizing how important and fundamental the spiritual aspect is. As a result, through counseling and through conversations with many of our clients, we got to recognize the need for the spiritual aspect, and therefore we thought that we would establish the ministries to help persons to find that spirituality, and then hence the reason why we are looking to have this move for the launching of the CSI ministries.
Can you tell me some of the specific areas that fathers, men, and boys need assistance with that you've seen throughout this period of counseling?
Oh, wow. I hope that you will give me some more time to give that. Tisha, listen, one of the things that we've done, a lot of our clients are come out of schools as well as the community, and as a result, when counseling with these at-risk boys and girls, we found that the absence of fathers in their lives have been a major challenge, and as a result, a lot of them are yearning for that balance for their fathers. Now, having said that, we met with some of the parents of these children, only to realize that they've been having major challenges with maybe their spouses or something, and maybe having to leave relationships. They're having challenges with court, not being able to find employment as they should to take care of their major responsibilities, and as a result, they're left wanting and hurting. And so a lot of these men, maybe in the age group of 18 to 35, are finding themselves before the courts, finding themselves, caught up in foolishness. That's why one of the big mantras that we carry is really trying to help men that are with, to reduce the lawlessness, the crime and violence out there. And as a result, because there's too much out there. I mean, we hear it in the media, whether social or traditional, on a daily basis. And as a result, we felt that it is necessary to cater to our men. We're also looking at the economic side of it, because again, unemployment is something that we have a major problem with in our society, in our country, and we're going to find our ways to provide jobs for a lot of these persons so that we can reduce that lawlessness out there.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. It's always great, when you even follow through past the counseling, and you're able to help people in practical, workable ways, which is what you say is one of your mandates. So let's talk now about the online component, because you're going to be online for some time, and then you're working toward a physical church.
Okay, great. Again, this weekend, May 20th and 21st of May, on the Saturday, we will have, for both days, we're going to be having this major conference where we brought in a number of persons from overseas who are networking with us. You're going to hear a little bit from Apostle Branch shortly, Branch Bennett, and we're going to have this conference sensitizing communities about what we're doing, sensitizing Barbados about what we're doing, and the spiritual component that we're adding to our arsenal. Notice I said arsenal, and helping to reduce crime, lawlessness, and violence, and also helping a lot of these men and fathers in the interim. Online, because there's no location as yet found, we will be sharing a number of buildings around Barbados, but definitely our major place, dominant place, will be online, because we want to start reaching not only Barbados but the entire Caribbean as well, so that makes it easier to be more for persons on the wider world to be more aware of what we are doing. So while we are online, we'll be searching for a building. We do have a couple buildings in mind because we are going to be focusing a lot on the area of St. Peter, and particularly because we are trying to get to the as close to the north as possible. And once we do that, then we will have, once we have our building there in St. Peter organized, then we definitely will go into the full practical worship and meeting in the house for in St. Peter. Yes.
Apostle Branch Bennett, you're too quiet over there. Come on in and share your views.
So I'm basically here for the spiritual aspect of it. I do have a great interest in Barbados. My dad's from Barbados, which makes me half Barbadian, so it does mean a lot to me. I'm very supportive of what Dr. Cummins is doing, and I see his vision, and not only his vision, but I see his passion. And coming from a prophetic and an apostolic angle, when he suggested this conference to go with the launch, I knew it had to be God, and I wanted to be a part of that. When I was asked to be a part of that, I was more than happy to agree to it. And I believe that this weekend, the conference, which starts on Saturday, I believe that this is going to be the breaking ground for something that we did not even imagine. I believe that the Lord is strategically using Dr. Cummins, putting him in this position where it actually looks as if he's doing one thing, but he's going to be hitting other things at the same time, because I see that there's a need for what he's doing. And because he has the passion behind it, I'm someone that I support people with passion. I support people with vision, good visions. And I feel his heart and I feel his passion towards what he's doing. And I just want to say to Barbados this morning to come out this weekend and support the move, regardless of which ministry you go to. This has nothing to do with church. This has to do with kingdom. And we're thinking kingdom, and we want what he's doing to not just affect his ministry, but we want it to affect nations, affect Barbados, affect other Caribbean islands. So I believe that this weekend there's going to be a great move of God that is about to take place here in Barbados. And I'm just using this opportunity to invite those of you that follow me on Facebook, those of you that follow my ministry, to really, if you're in Barbados and you can make it down to St. Peter, mile and a quarter, I'm asking you to come out and support this. Support what the man of God is doing, not for himself, but doing for the country that he loved, doing for his people, and spreading it out throughout the Caribbean and the world.
Okay, Dr. Cummins, I'm going to have to ask you then to kind of put things in perspective for us in terms of this particular event that is coming up. I wasn't aware that Apostle Branch Bennett is visiting for an event. So, quickly put that in perspective for us as we close out.
Okay, thank you so much, teacher. So Apostle Bennett is one of the keynote persons invited from across outside of Barbados for this event, as well as we have Apostle Vonnie James Austin from the U.S. and we have Minister Clarissa Hazel as well coming out of U.S. as well for this event. We have a number of pastors, local pastors who are also there. Their churches will be supporting this event, who have promised and committed themselves to the part of this event. On this day, over these 2 days of this event, And the conference will have a number of artists performing, gospel artists performing. You will get a lot of dancing going on, pantomime and so on. We have the disabled community, definitely. Some of you that are familiar with CSI for Men and Fathers will know that we work really close with the disabled community, and therefore we're going to be having a number of them showcasing their talent, as well as the Blind Society has pledged to be a part of this as well, showcasing their talent. So we have a potpourri of performers coming on, and therefore it's going to spread over 2 days, and we are excited. On the Saturday, that starts at 5 o'clock in the evening. That's the opening ceremony, and then on the Sunday we're going to start at 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock until 5:15 we'll have a media session where we answer all the questions. The entire media is invited, where we will answer all the questions that they may have, make a presentation, and then we break for a short moment so that all the dignitaries and those specially invited distinguished guests can leave if they don't want to be a part of the celebration. Because though this is not a spirit, what we call a religious thing, trying to get people to go to church, we want persons to find exactly that spirituality. We're not concerned at this moment who's your higher calling, but what we want you to understand is that spiritual component is critical.
Okay,
and then,
well, thank you so much for sharing. We're gonna have to leave it there. Sounds like there's a lot on the cards coming up for this weekend for the official launch of the Center for Solutions and Influence Ministries, and we most certainly will continue to share. So thank you so much, Apostle Margaret Branch Bennett and Dr. Anthony Cummins. I wish you all the best this weekend for the launch.
Thank you so much, Tisha. Wish you all the best. Thanks for having us. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take another break here on Morning Barbados. It's 26 minutes after 7 on this World Hypertension Day. Don't forget, wear your sneakers today. We'll be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Well, welcome back to Morning Barbados. Here on set with us now is Romero Lashley, who is a retired educator and director of the Extra Edge. And we've had a few conversations with him over the last few weeks. Today, we are looking at schooling itself before we even get back into the discussion about the 11 plus. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and a pleasure to be back with you.
All right, great to have you with us. Now, first of all, let's talk a little bit about what people call communication skills in children and developing great communication skills. I'm sure I don't have to tell you, but I was one who went home almost every term with decent grades, but too talkative.
Yes.
As a report, I guess I'm too talkative even now.
Yeah.
So, you know, what does it do for children when we have this more conservative approach to education, as opposed to encouraging children to express themselves?
Ideally, communication is done in a sort of one-to-one setting, huh? One person you communicate. For any time you create 25 persons and one teacher, you off-balance things so greatly that the one teacher has no choice but to ask those students to be quiet. So a 1 to 25 ratio or a 20 ratio, whatever have you, is counter the development of good communication skills. Because one teacher doesn't have the time to get good conversations going with 20 different students. So the teacher has no choice but to say, keep quiet, let me talk. Which then defeats the purpose of developing communication skills in students. So we have students who know stuff but can't communicate.
So what then would be an ideal number for the number of student to a teacher ratio?
Yeah, I guess you have to strike a balance, because again, to have one teacher, 5 students for a system would be probably too expensive. But if you have forums, if you have special classes where you go into groups, and it's 1 to 5 kind of thing, or 1 to 4, and we have a conversation, and that should not be seen as something extracurricular or whatever. That should be a part of school life where you are allowed to speak. Rather than, it's easy to say, it's easy to ask 25 people to write an essay, but that's not good enough. You need to create opportunity where those students are able to speak with me about it. Tell me how your vacation went, tell me how your holiday went, and let's talk. And feel that talking is not less quality stuff than writing it. Because as you mentioned, there's so many great speakers. Yourself, Oprah Winfrey, they speak. You had too talkative on your report all the time. But what you do now, you talk for a living.
That's right. They pay me to talk. How about that?
Yeah. I hope they do that for me one day.
All right. So let's step back a little bit, because for children in the classroom setting, children will be at different will have different abilities. They will be at different levels. So how can a teacher truly, even if the classrooms are smaller, how then can the teachers really reach each child where they are? It would suggest that there needs to be a whole lot more going on than just the sessions in a classroom setting to complete the education cycle.
Precisely, I agree with you 100%. We have to open the school walls and let people in. There are many people who are willing to come in and even to volunteer time to talk with students. There are graduates who have CXCs who are not necessarily working yet or whatever, who will be willing to come in as teacher assistants. And they don't have to be there all the time. You can have sessions which allow for oral expression, where you have the teacher and perhaps 4 other facilitators talking with groups of 4 or 5 as a regular part of school, so that you come out of school having spoken and spoken and spoken so many years that you can do it naturally. We have the opposite. Students who are told to sit down and shut up for so many years, that when you want them to speak and express themselves now, there's nothing to draw it from.
All right, so you are likening this to the entrepreneurial spirit, or grooming an entrepreneurial spirit in children, as compared to a conservative schooling, or almost like mixing oil and water. Explain further what you mean.
Okay. What's the entrepreneur like? The entrepreneur is a person who can see opportunities that other people have not necessarily told him or her about. Our school system tends to do a lot of do as you're told. Give him back the information I gave to you, and if you do it accurately, you get full marks. On our special days, bank holidays and so on, we have quizzes on TV and so on, and most of the quizzes are asking students to tell me what, or who's the Prime Minister of X, and what year this so happened, not why. Why do you think this person did? What lesson do you learn out of, say, Jamie Foxx being ill while on set? Over the whole scenario, what do you learn from that? So you encourage students not just to tell me what, not just to tell me who and what year and so on, but to think. Because the who and the what, Google does that for us now. I can ask Google who's the Prime Minister of anything, but I want students to be able to give an opinion, not just to say who was born in 2016. Who starred in the movie blah 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 in 2044? Nobody cares about that. No, Google could tell me that. I want to know what do you think about this decision that was made by a prime minister. What do you think about our prime minister's approach to nutrition in schools? What do you think about the new move to have greater rights given to some group or whatever? And her opinion, her speech, not just simply yes or no answers or 2024 is right and 1986 is wrong.
Have these changes that are needed been acknowledged through creating a different scenario in terms of how teachers are taught? Because you can have a teacher coming into a classroom setting. It's not the same as, say, for example, with medical doctors who have to undergo continuous assessment. They often have to do training as they go along. So are our teachers equipped to do what you are talking about? Or would there have to be an entire overhaul of the school teaching system from the direction of teachers being equipped to deal with children differently from how things have been done since time immemorial?
And the answer to that question is very complex. It's a complex yes and no. There's hardly any teacher in Barbados that has not been taught about the multiple intelligences, and who does not know, at least at the theoretical level, that intelligence is expressed in many forms: sports, music, kinesthetics, spirituality, introversion, extroversion, all kinds of ways in which you see intelligence expressed. But you're told to go in a system and finish the syllabus by X time. So the poor teacher has a choice. Do I do what I was taught and what he may feel intuitively, or do I finish the syllabus? And the teacher is then forced to go along traditional routes of education, of getting the maximum information out with the minimum interruption. And that spoils it. We have to, as you said, dismantle the whole system. Dismantle it. And that power, that empowerment that tells us we are capable of dismantling this system and creating over time something adequate for us is a strength that we need to assume. Nobody will give it to us. We have to take it. We can't follow Finland. We can't follow anybody's education system. We have to have the courage to look at Barbados, look at the Caribbean, look at our context, and create what is good for us. Finland must have chosen what was good for them. They have a different history from us, a different climate from us, a different culture from us. We have no right going to copy anybody's education system. We have enough bright people in Barbados to sit down and work at it. But we have to have confidence in ourselves. We have to believe that we can do it.
Now I know that we've started introducing technical and vocational training a little bit earlier in some of our schools. But do we truly have a place in our educational system for the child who has a lot of initiative, the child who is truly and very creative? Does it facilitate those types of children?
Sadly not, because again, the ratio. 1 teacher, 20 students, 25 students. How can I deal with the fact that 4 or 5 of them would love to go off and do their own thing, or would love to talk to me, or would love to pull the place apart physically and build something different? I don't have time for that. I have a syllabus to complete. So I make everybody sit down and be compliant. And then that cramps, that creates a lot of tension between the child who wants to be creative and the system that wants you to sit and be quiet. And we get all kinds of dysfunction in there. Students getting punished and being frustrated and all kinds of dysfunction in the school system because the system is saying sit and be quiet, learn what they want to teach you, but our personalities are saying I want to dance, I want to sing, I want to run, I want to build, I want to take apart, I want to speak. And you have to create a system that allows for that individuality to come forward and not be scared of it, but let it come forward.
There's one thing that is a huge pet peeve of mine, and I even experienced it as a child. I find that here in Barbados, in some circles, not everywhere, when you find children who are talkative, who what we deem talkative, or who are expressive, children who speak well, children who can express themselves, a lot of the time that is seen as children being rude. So all of a sudden children who won't take everything you say and just regurgitate
Talk
it.
to me, Gibby. Yes.
These children are kind of
considered
pushed.
radicals and
yes, and
troublesome.
they're kind of pushed to the back.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with academics.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with how they're doing with book work. But sometimes children who will question certain things, you know, they're almost branded
Yes.
as troubled children.
Yes, yes.
And this can be a major problem too.
Big so, and it comes with a lot of history. If our original education charter wanted us to create persons for the workplace, I think the actual word docile was somewhere in that original charter. We want people to comply, but you cannot take a society forward, especially in today's world, by just people who will comply. You need people who can create solutions, and move in directions never seen before. When we had, for example, when our Prime Minister talked about the Welcome Stamp Initiative, that was not a copy. That was being creative. That's good for Barbados. What you want for Barbados is not just the Welcome Stamp program applied to persons from North America and Canada and whatever, but let it apply to the people from the Caribbean as well. Open up Barbados. We can create 7 Barbadoses. We can multiply what Barbados can absorb by 7. We build higher, and we can educate our people to become hosts. In other words, Barbados can be like one giant hotel. If we train in courtesy and niceness and so on, Barbados can be like one giant hotel. And we can accommodate so much more. But that's creative thinking.
Education goes in tandem with so many other things. It's so interconnected with even
Wages
planning
and-
for workplaces of the future. Workplaces now. So what do we do in looking towards solutions? Where do we start? You admittedly said that there's so much to do to even start to make inroads into changing up our educational system. Where would be a good start?
I think we have to start to walk back some of the traditional load. We have to start to re-examine our syllabuses and take out things we don't really need, walk back the volume, and make room for new dimensions. I've taught mathematics mainly for many years, and to be honest, I could take out 40% of the maths that I teach and throw it in the coinage without any loss of anything in Barbados. Because who walks around needing to know how to work out Pythagoras theorem and trigonometry and solve quadratic equations and symmetry? Who walks around needing that? Nobody needs that.
Some will argue that it taps into different parts of the brain, and so it helps you to think in even more critical and analytical ways.
That is true. That is true. Rigorous logic, rigorous mathematics, anything that's rigorous makes you think a lot. It does develop the brain and makes you capable of handling many variables and so on and so forth. But you can do rigorous thinking about real current things. Take, for example, queuing. You have persons who queue up in long lines at banks, government offices, all over Barbados. You long lines every day. We can apply mathematics to look at the cost of queuing. Queuing is a costly exercise. Every day we're paying salaries. A portion of our salaries every day goes to people who are standing in lines. That's a waste of productivity. The minimum queuing you can have, the better for your society. And so mathematics can be applied to practical things, and it can be complicated mathematics, and not necessarily mathematics that tells us how to solve a quadratic equation or matrices that we don't use. I'm not saying that math is not useful, but we hold on to traditional syllabuses. And the syllabus that is taught in mathematics now, you can date back 40, 50, 60 years without any change of content. Nah, we need to bring maths into the present.
I heard a lot of people talking about the whole idea of bringing back things like civics in schools and things of that nature. Maybe another iteration of what it is to suit where we are in our society now. But we have so many students coming out of schools, coming out of universities, where you're hearing workplaces saying that they're not equipped to even fill forms and do very basic things. So even though they have the certification and they've now regurgitated and they can pass these exams almost, by memory, exactly what it is, they're not able to function in society. So, in that regard, where do we start in giving our children practical skills and knowledge and those soft skills they need to be active, functioning adults in society?
Those soft skills are critical and paramount and important. They're not soft at all. They're critical. Your attitude is critical. Your attitude determines your altitude. So those things are not soft. Anyway, you should call them that. They're critical skills. What bothers me though is that we have a whole generation of students now who are I'm not going to steal your number. We have a whole generation of students who are down into devices. That bothers me a little bit because we're fostering introversion a bit too much. I went to a place, an office yesterday. We wanted to do some business. And I was told I can't see the officer face to face. They would interact with me through media, electronically. And that bothered me. Because myself and my daughters are intimately connected. If you don't want to see me, you want to see them. So we have to be careful, going to letting technology drive us down this long tube of everything on a screen, and get back to civics and into relationships. I mean, I don't want to marry somebody because I saw them on a screen and they click like me. I want to marry somebody because I got to take them to know them.
But I mean, that's the way that society is moving now.
Yeah.
That's the way things are happening. In these times, people are dating online. Not bringing tales out of school, but I took some young people out recently, and they were all sitting around the table, and everybody was on their phone. And I said, put the phone away. You're here with each other. Why not?
Physically.
They were sitting in front of each other, texting each other.
Yes.
And some other friends who weren't there.
Yes.
So I see that, there can be some negative if children become even more introverted. But don't we have to look at ways of incorporating technology into what we do and in the advancement of education as well?
Yes, we have to stop letting technology be the boss, and that everything that's invented by Microsoft or whoever, we follow suit. We have to be the boss. We have to be like the policeman. When the policeman does that, without a shout, we stop. We have to be able to do that to technology. Say, hold it. You can create X or Y, but let me decide when I want it. Because otherwise we destroy things that are more critical for our society by letting everybody be driven by what technology wants.
All right, well, we could talk forever about this.
Yeah.
My take on it is that there are too many parents who really don't know what is happening with technology. So they're proud to say, oh, little Johnny knows so much about the computer. I don't even know. And I think that's the challenge because the children are leading them. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Lashley, for coming in. Next week will be the final installment in this series, but we certainly have a lot more to talk about. So we will continue discussions, maybe even outside of this program. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Definitely a lot of food for thought. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, some new music for the session. Cooper Dan is here.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Matchback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Just about 11 minutes to go before 8 o'clock. We have Kupadan in the place. New music for Cropover 2023. So he's in to share. Good morning.
Good morning. Or as Kupadan says, yo, yo. that means everything. Good morning, good night, hello, whatever.
It's always good to see you. I mean, I remember you as a very young artist coming out with your music many moons ago.
Many.
Yes, I'm sure you were off to the side, maybe listening intently to the conversation I had with the last guest.
Yes,
because you're a teacher as well.
Yes. So actually, we were speaking in the back room earlier, and I opted to come in to hear what he was saying because I was interested in what he was talking about.
All right, wonderful. Tell me about this new music. You're one of these people who you hear music from you, and you know, it's always very good every year as you go through. So tell me about your music.
So this music, the music I'm coming to share with you today, for 2023, is a song called Reflection. It was produced by the Red Boys. It was written by myself and the Red Plastic Bag. So you already see that it's some kind of quality there already.
Good stuff. How were you able to make that connection?
Bag is family, so we've been every year we've been discussing, working together in some way.
Listen, Bag family to everybody in Barbados, though.
Everybody in St. Philip.
My goodness.
Everybody in St. Philip. He's real family, though. This isn't just like a friend family thing. He's
that
real.
That doesn't augur well for my thoughts if everybody in St. Philip are related.
But it's a big family up there. But the song, as the name says, Reflection, it offers the listener, it takes the listener on a journey of self-reflection. Because, you know, many times we don't look at that person in the mirror and be proud of what we see. And the song urges and encourages people to be proud of your reflection when you look in the mirror, because you know who you are. At the end of the day, people speak all kind of things about you. You know the Bajan saying, people know more about you than you know about yourself and what's not. But at the end of the day, it's that reflection. It's you that know who you are, what you gives, and yeah, you being proud of that person, that reflection you seeing back in the mirror.
All right, so it's something to give you a little boost this season.
Yeah, it's a positive message. It's a road I've been on, a path I've been on for the past 4 years. I would say it came out of COVID, going through my personal dark times and hard times, and I decided to put, because sometimes people do different things. People write down their feelings, people got a journal, people do, and because I like music, I decided to use my personal experience in the music. So for the last 4 years, I've been on this journey with something I like to call message music. Putting a message in my music, but still allowing the person to party to the music as well.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I can't wait to hear this wonderful message music. Yes. How do your students receive you once they realize, hey, my teacher is singing this song?
I mean, they love it, and young children are the best testers. They test a song on the children and they say, yeah, teacher, I like that. Because when a child loves a song, remember that these children are the ones who, as they get older, start to, earlier you were talking about technology and social media, and the children are heavy on the social media and the liking and the commenting and what's not. So when you get the children on board, that's usually a good thing.
It's true. When I worked more in radio, usually we could gauge which songs would do really well based on how the children responded to them.
So I'm fortunate enough to have that in my pocket.
But
to answer your question, how they respond well, and I always say that I use it to my advantage as a teacher also, because then I become the popular teacher. So then the students want to be, they want to have that relationship with me. So I don't usually have the behavioral problems and what's not because of that.
That's good. So you're able to use what you're doing to kind of bring your students along. I absolutely love that. What about the connection with the Red Boys? Who hooked that up?
I mean, I just, honestly, this year I just took a chance on myself, because this year I'm celebrating 10 years since the world knew about Cooper Dan when I had the Song Question of the Year, but like 15 years in the consecutive in the soca arena. And this year I wanted to take a chance on myself and go to the big boys. And everybody know I know this to all the producers, but it's all the producers I've worked with throughout the years and the producers I worked with this year and I will continue to work with. But I mean, you know, like when you were young, before you got into TV or radio, there probably was somebody that you looked up to and said, like, that's the pinnacle there for me. So for me, like Red Boys in the soca arena, not only in Barbados, but all over, are the big boys. So I wanted to take a chance on myself and I approached them. And you know, usually when you see a Red Boys production, it's written by a recognized songwriter, not just a talented songwriter, because there are many talented songwriters, but it's normally a recognized one. And I took a chance on myself. I went to the Red Boys, I pitched the song, they liked it, they told me, all right, we could do a little tweaking. They made some suggestions to bike. It's a bike without my cousin not easy. They showed bike, we bike, and we bike do his thing, but it's a bike, and we got the song Reflection.
All right, we want to hear this song Reflections. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, Cooper Dan is going to perform the song for us. Stay with me.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
The Big Bajan Bake Off is back, and the top 5 have been selected. Tune in Fridays at 8:03 p.m. to find out who will be crowned the best Bajan baker.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together,
I look inside the mirror, I can say that I know who I am. When I look in the mirror, that is me in the mirror. Yes, I know who I am. When I look in the mirror, it's me I see in the mirror. Inside the mirror, that is me in the mirror. Ha! Inside the mirror, I see a reflection of me. The landlord is breath, every time you blink is rent, and I can't keep up blinking cent. But me children in hungry. No way, Jason Jamaya so blessed, and I can say that with my chest. Cause I know who Jah bless, no man curse. Sometimes I get the best man, he has got to take the worst. I am so blessed and I know my worth. And every time I look inside the mirror, I can say that I know who I am. When I look in the mirror, that is me in the mirror. Yes, I know who I am. When I look in the mirror, it's me I see in the mirror. Inside the mirror, that is me in the mirror. Inside the mirror, I see a reflection of me. Inside the mirror, when I look in the mirror, I see a inside the mirror I can say that I know who I am when I look in the mirror. That is me in the mirror. Yes, I know who I am when I look in the mirror. It's me I see in the mirror. Inside the mirror, that is me in the mirror. Ha! Inside the mirror, I see a reflection of me.
Oh, when I look inside the mirror. Wonderful presentation. Look out for that one from Cooper Dan. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we have Tayer Bubulia, who is the new Barbados Youth Ambassador to the UN Advisory Group. He's going to be here to talk all about the Economic Forum and Social Council's Youth Forum coming up. Also, last week we showed positive vibes from the Dighton Griffith School. The young man behind it, who is also alum from the school, will be in. His name is Jonathan Daniel. And we continue to share vibes about exceptional youth from here in Barbados and indeed across the world. Thank you so much for spending the last 2 hours with us. We'll be back with you, God willing, tomorrow. Remember to wear your sneakers and your smile on this World Hypertension Day. Have a great one on behalf of the crew. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.